My presentation is on the movie Canon City that was released in 1948 about a prison break that happened in Canon City in late 1947. And I'm kind of comparing the facts of the actual break to the way the movie portrays them. On December 30th, 1947, 12 prisoners escaped from the Canon City Correctional Facility, Old Max, that we know it as today, in western side of Canon City. And in the period of 3 days, they were all recaptured. Most of them were recaptured that night and early the next morning. 4 of the prisoners went to a ranch south of Canon City that was held by owned by my great uncle, and they held the family hostage. And there was a shootout at the ranch during recapture of the prisoners, which a guard and and my great uncle was injured. And then one of the prisoners escaped north of Canon City and was holed up in a barn up there and held a family hostage up there. And he got recaptured when he decided to let the family take their son into Canon City for a appendectomy because their son was very sick. And that's that part of the break's what caught the imagination of the public, because here's this hardened criminal lets this boy get released, or releases his hostages, and knowing that he was going to get recaptured. Later, when one of the prisoners was recaptured, there was a picture of the week in Life magazine, and the prison break with 12 prisoners escaping made headlines throughout the country. So it really captured the eye of everybody, and it captured the eyes of a film producer out of California, and with Eagle Lion Films. And within a few days after the prison break, they decided they would like to film a movie about the prison break. The movie is really it's almost a film noir, but it's also done in a very much a documentary style, so it makes it sound very believable on all the events that took place. And the way they portray the break, they get some of their facts a little bit askewed and add some, even though they've done it in a documentary style, they've added some dramatic action to it, but they really kind of messed up some of the facts on how the escape actually took place. Some of the scenes were filmed in the penitentiary for about 2 weeks. A lot of the interior shots in the homes and stuff were done in California on a soundstage. To my knowledge and to anything I found, it was one of the first movies filmed inside a prison at that time, inside an active prison. It was filmed with the naked fury of fact. It was promoted as a documentary, and most of the articles I see about it on the premiere was that it was filmed as it happened, where it happened, on location, and with the people that actually happened to. And only there's a few townsfolk in the movie that were extras. Roy Best played himself, and all the prisoners were played by actors. It's always been a family story on of this being involved in this prison break. So I was always intrigued by about the information about the prison break. And then when I finally got an opportunity to see the movie as an adult, I was just in my mind would compare, well, that's not the way I've been told it happened. So I started doing some research and just inquiring about the actual prison break and looking up the old newspaper articles and stuff about it. There was a scene shot with Margaret Carey, who played my aunt, that really never took place in real life, and she was only 17 at the time, and she had to really downplay when she went back to school after the movie was released, this particular scene. A 17-year-old girl going through that, watching her uncle get shot and a guard get shot and in the shootout. The movie was actually almost more traumatic for her, having to live down the way the movie portrayed her. It kind of upsets her. Still to this day, 63 years later. I've always had a fascination with Colorado history, and I think the History Symposium in general is just a wonderful thing to bring out little tidbits of Colorado history that may not be well known. Last year I helped behind the scenes with this symposium, and this year I'm actually presenting. And I think the symposium is just a really great way to get more information out there about Colorado history, and it promotes the library and and it gets some people out there to maybe do some more research, and maybe it'll stir them to do a presentation like me.